Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox, or as we probably should change our name to, the Red Bull Victory Podcast.
Yeah, that was amazing by Max, but I mean, I don't think anyone was surprised when you have a car that's a second faster than everyone else.
Yeah.
So 15th to second.
Right.
Amazing, but not shocking.
No, that's even with the safety car scrunching everybody up, so that probably could have been worse. We're obviously talking about the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Max got 15th in qualifying because he had a gearbox issue, and we looked at each other and said, he's doing this on purpose just to make his life more exciting.
Yeah, because when he's first or second, he's gone. They don't show him the rest of the race. So I was like, he's doing this on purpose to give himself something to do for the race.
Yeah, and he still finished.
Yeah.
Because he still finished 20 seconds before the next guy, and he was 6 seconds behind Perez.
Yeah.
So I guess that leads into the second topic. Does Red Bull clean sweep this season?
I don't see how they don't. I don't see how they don't.
It's never been done in F1 history. A clean sweep.
Unless they have engine troubles. I don't know. Because even Aston, I thought was their only competitor. But Stroll had engine problems. And then even Alonso wasn't that close to them.
He got passed like he was standing still.
So I don't know. So I think unless other teams adjust something, I do kind of think it's a sweep. Like, how do you compete?
You got to hope for like last lap chaos. Like,
yeah.
Like the, safety car, throw it on like they have in Leclerc last year where he was in first and then everybody passed him. Mm-hmm. You almost need something like that.
Yeah, so either like weird mess ups on track or like bad strategy calls, but
weird
for
weather.
Red Bull they don't do that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's weather that could still be a thing, I guess.
But like if everything's in working baseline order, I think they're
going to 1-2 out the season.
Yeah.
This is as bad. For those of you that are new to F1, this is as bad as it was watching the Mercedes years when it was Hamilton and Nico. Mm-hmm. Right? It was just like every race, it was like, well, who's going to get third today?
Yep.
And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so 1-2, cool. The rest of the year, let's focus on mid teams. Let's see what's going on. Like we were joking, like for I don't know how many laps were we focusing on. Oh, who's getting 14th? Who's getting 14th? I'm like, we're such losers. But like,
it was like the last 10 laps of the race.
Yeah.
But that does say a lot, I think, about the rest of the field, right? Mm-hmm. So you can kind of go into that point of the whole field is actually probably pretty close. I mean, Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston are all fighting there. Mm-hmm. Anybody can be that. And then, all the bottom teams, like the field is pretty close.
And Alpine had a solid race today.
Yeah.
Ocon, Gasly, I mean, I thought they had a great race. So they're strong, but so obviously Red Bull's up there, but I think the rest of the pack is like, okay.
It's actually a pretty good year.
And I felt like half of the first laps, everyone was relatively close on top of each other. So it was a lot of fun watching the passing and just a little, not action, but like possible action in the race. But,
So, again, not a lot of that. Alonso had third, had a 10-second penalty, and then got, because of a 5-second penalty that wasn't, it was the Ocon situation again.
Yep.
So he would have had his 100th podium. Mm-hmm. If we had to say Red Bull's not going to sweep, is he the best shot to sweep? Is Alonso?
As of right now, yeah. Because I think he wants it. He has the car to provide, and he's aggressive enough. So I think with like his experience, car, and just hunger, I think he has the most likely ability to pass the Red Bull.
Right.
I don't know if he can, because I thought like the beginning of the race was like, all right. Like, Alonso got around Perez. Yep. Like this is
Alonso was leading for the first time since 2012.
Yeah. And then Perez passed him, and then Verstappen passed him like warm butter, just like whoosh. I was like, this is standing still.
Yeah.
So I think Alonso has the opportunity. I don't know.
So it's really early in the season to talk about this, but there's not anything else to really talk about because Red Bull dominated.
Yeah.
And then nowhere else was everyone just kind of stayed in their little spots. The safety car wasn't even really supposed to be a safety car, so that was kind of not a lot really happened in the Saudi Grand Prix this year. Not like the last couple of years with the Leclerc battling and then Max and Lewis hitting each other.
Yeah,
but
a boring race.
With Verstappen stealing the fastest point from Perez, which he was told not to do. He was kind of encouraged not to do, and taking the championship lead from Perez.
Yeah.
Do you see a Lewis and Nico kind of situation where they hit each other and they knock each other out? Anything like, is that the competition this year? Is it Sergio is tired of being number 2 to Max and they take each other out?
I don't know, because today was a very unique race because Max was behind. Normally Max is first and then he takes off and we don't see him until he crosses the finish line because he's 17 seconds even ahead of Perez.
Right.
So, I mean, if that's the case, then no, because there's no way Perez is winning. However, if both of them can keep doing that 1-2, 1-2, like switching, possibly. However, I don't even think Max knows he's doing it. I think he's just like, no, I'm going to win. I don't think he's even being vindictive. I think that's just his personality of like,
I'm in the car to win.
Do it.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I can win. I can get this extra point. Why wouldn't I do it? So I don't want to say it's like a jerk attitude, but like, I think that's just him. He's just like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So maybe that is being a butthead, but
it'll be interesting to see how the year unfolds, because that's basically, I know this is kind of a downbeat one, but there's not a lot to talk about. But like, we basically have 2 storylines. Can Perez stay with Max to make the year exciting? Mm-hmm. And then who comes in second?
Yeah.
Is kind of it.
I think Stroll not finishing kind of helped even out all the
points.
2, 3, 4 teams.
Because even Ferrari's pretty close to that number 2 still. They're like 12 points back.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's every race. You never know what's going to happen. So
that's why we watch.
Yep.
All right. Any other by the ways before we kick this off?
I don't know. McLaren is just sad to watch. I feel like they keep getting.
So there's it. That's what we'll finish on this really quickly. Is it worse to be a McLaren fan or a Ferrari fan this year?
McLaren.
Yeah?
I think.
McLaren had no hopes, though. So them being last isn't really a big deal. Ferrari was supposed to be fighting Red Bull, and they're finishing 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th.
But, okay, so Ferrari had hope, but, like, everyone saw that Red Bull and Ferrari had 2 different cars. And it was like, ooh, who's going to be better?
But they're not even fighting Aston and Mercedes.
Yeah, but Mercedes and Aston changed to be more like Red Bull. Yeah, and it's obviously showing. So, like, I was like, ooh, last year Ferrari has hope. Now I'm like, you didn't do anything different. So
you think it's worse to be a McLaren fan?
I do. Because it's like, they're just, I don't know,
they're
18th, 19th
yeah.
now. And I don't know, they had such high hopes for so long, and now it's like...
crushed.
Like they both had debris flying off their cars for like getting like blown at. Like, I don't know, like it's just sad. So that's me.
Well, on that bombshell, thanks for visiting. See you guys.